When it comes to real estate, everything matters. Whether you're a realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title is here to inform, entertain, and inspire you. Host Bill Napick from Stuart Title will talk with guests about what really matters when it comes to owning, buying, and selling real estate. Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title starts right now. Here's your host, Bill Napick.
And welcome to the show, Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title. I am your host, Bill Napick, and once again, here we are, show number 280, I think, if I were counting, Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title. So if you're listening right here in Houston, Texas, or the Woodlands, we have many guests from the Woodlands today. You might even be in one of my favorite places, Dana Point, California, listening. Wherever you are, we have assembled tremendous and superior guests as always. So sit back and enjoy the show. And as I said, our guests today are from the Woodlands. People love the Woodlands. All over the United States, people hear about it and they love it. So you're going to hear about the mortgage industry there today, what's going on in mortgages. You're going to hear about real estate. You're even going to hear about a tremendous new restaurant. Yes, all that on this show. Our first guest is Kelly Malatesta, and she has been on the radio for about 20 years, and you could hear her talk with Steve Drake all the time. She is with First United Mortgage Group. Kelly, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you, Bill.
It's amazing. And here you are on our show. Let's tell people, Kelly, about your company.
First United is a privately held bank that is owned by the Massey family. The bank is about $7 billion right now, and they're a bank that really specializes in construction and all types of lending, from government to Fannie, Freddie, Jumbo, and we hold on to our loans. We service them, so it's a great place to work.
And I forgot to say, you're an award-winning mortgage professional because you've been in this profession a long time.
Yes.
And the production, as I looked at your website, Kelly, how do you do it? You're really doing a tremendous job all these years.
Well, thank you. I've got a really good team. You know, you can't do this job without a village, it seems like, anymore. My assistant's been with me for probably, I don't know, Amy's been with me almost 17 years now. My processor, Mary's been with me for probably close to 15 years. I've got a new assistant, and it just, we love what we do. We love working with clients, and each day is a new challenge and a new situation. It keeps it interesting and fun.
And what was fun is, as we mentioned before the show, in 2005, I got a loan from you and your company back then, and it was really a result of me hearing you on the radio way back in 2005, as I've been a big fan of talk radio, still am. So here you are today, and I finally meet you.
Nice to meet you. I know.
And if Mr.
And your memory's better than mine.
Well, apparently. And we could tell Mr. Drake hello, too, in case he hears your segment or the complete show. But let's tell people, and I'm sure all the time they're asking you what the interest rate is. As I'm understanding, interest rates right now are really, really tremendous.
Oh, they're fantastic. You know, last summer we started touching on about 5%. And at the end of the year, they started coming down. And we're now right about, you know, there's some products that are in the high threes. There's some products that are like right about 4%. So the rates are fantastic. And it's a great time to buy if you're thinking about cashing out. If you got kids to send to college and need to cash out, that's a good option. If you need to refinance just to lower your payment, we're doing that. We do a ton of construction loans. We've got a fantastic one-time close program that allows you to lock in the rate up front when you build. So it's a great time to be looking at financing.
It really is. And you are located in the Woodlands, right?
I am.
Let's tell people, but your work goes beyond the Woodlands, I'm guessing, with your tenure with the company and with your in this profession.
Absolutely. We'll lend in 48 states. And so I do loans all over the place. If you're buying a second home in Colorado or a second home in Florida, we'll do that. If you're downsizing in Houston, or if you're changing from work, you know, moving across the city, we'll work with you there. We've got listeners, you know, and buyers and clients in Pearland and in the Woodlands and Katy. So we work all over. We don't discriminate. And
the value of in your marketing, certainly radio is not the only thing that you've done to promote your work. Certainly there's a lot of referrals, people that enjoyed the services the first time or second and even third time, but the radio has helped you get your name out there.
Yeah.
And as I said, it's interesting. I remember you from 2005, and I'm sure there are people right now that reach out and say, "Hey, I heard you on the radio, Kelly."
You know, I get so many people that will that listen to the show, at Steve's show, and they'll call and say, "Hey, can you help me? My son's buying now. You helped me refinance 10 years ago. Now my son's ready to buy his first house. Can you help me? So the radio has been a tremendous platform. Like, I think it really is effective when refinances are in play, because it's such a quick way to get the interest rates out when they're moving or changing. We can get out programs quickly on the radio. So I've loved being on the radio all these years. It's been great. I've met a lot of great people.
It opens the doors to a lot of opportunities as well. In fact, people can go to the podcast page. Let's tell them how they can get there if they want to hear a past episode. And the show is called
KSCV Money Matters on 700 AM. And I think Steve's been on for, 20 plus years. So, and I think I've been on pretty close, almost as long as him. But he's just been a tremendous friend and somebody I admire. He does a lot of good for his clients, and I love working with his radio listeners and anybody that's interested in purchasing or refinancing.
And before this show, or a couple days ago, I was checking out his show and listening to the podcast, so people can always hear past episodes. Just Google 700 and Steve Drake, and it's going to all come up. And he has other great guests too, but you are my favorite.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So let's tell people, here we are mid-year. How do you see the year if you were to speculate and think about how the business, how the real estate market's going to be for the rest of the year? What do you think?
Well, this year started out with a bang. I mean, we saw the market take off a lot faster than it normally does. Usually we get going, probably 1st of March. We see it starting to pick up. This year we saw that at the beginning of February, and it's been a tremendous year for me so far. I'm way ahead of last year's goals, and last year I think I did $131 million in mortgage loans, and so this year we're ahead of that.
Wait a minute, $131 million?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's a big number.
You can tell the audience I look pretty tired, don't I?
No, you look tremendous. You don't look like you've been in the profession that long. Just saying, but yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's been. It's been a great run, and hopefully I love Houston. Houston's been a great place for me to work, and the people are friendly, and it's people are always moving from across the city and changing jobs, so it's always a fluid market for us.
There are so many things that trigger a real estate transaction, and I think that's also one of the key drivers in your world, right?
Yeah.
So when we think about the interest rates too, they seem to be as low as they have been in a long time. Yeah. And what do you think? What do you predict there as we go forth?
We have so many analysts that we read, and we do think that rates are going to stay pretty low throughout our analysts think that they're going to stay low throughout the end of the year. I think some of it's going to come into play with economic data that comes out. If we get the deal worked out with China, that may push rates a little bit higher because the economy is booming. And I think, when you have a booming economy, rates tend to go up a little bit. We had a little bit of a slowdown, but it seems to be holding steady right now. So we'll take it while we can get it.
Indeed. Let's tell people that as far as, and I used that number when I used your company back in 2005, and here we are many, many years later. But just say in the last 5 years, there are people, I guess the statistic is every 5 years people sell a home or something like, whatever it is. If they haven't bought a home recently in 5 or 7 years, what has changed? If they're thinking about it now and they're going to call you, what should they think about and what should they do to be ready in this time? Because it's different than 5 years ago and way certainly different than 2005.
Absolutely. People don't love the process as much as they did.
I loved it back then.
Back then it was great.
It was easy.
There's a little bit more paper involved these days. So you want to get ready. You want to be prepared if you're getting ready to talk to your agents, that you want to go ahead and get the pre-approval done, get your documents in. A few years back they changed a lot of the laws, and which required us to do a lot more paperwork with clients, and it is a little bit of a challenge for people. And so let's get started on that piece early so they can enjoy the home buying process a little bit more. They don't have to worry. They can get the financing piece done and then go do the buying, finding what they like and focusing on that piece.
How soon should they get started? Let's say someone wants to buy a home. Here it is, June, almost July. Someone wants to buy a home in September. Is it a little too early just now?
No, I would get started
so even
now.
right now.
Absolutely.
That's a good word.
Get it done. If there's any credit issues that show up, or if there's any employment issues that we need to look at, we see so many different issues. People will tell us, hey, I'm self-employed, I make $100,000. However, when we look at tax returns, they may make $100,000, but they only claim $50,000. So then we want to have all those kinks worked out before they have to be forced into like finding a different avenue for the mortgage because we want to get those things resolved. We want to get the credit scores up. There's things today that we can do with the credit scores that if your credit score is a little below a certain number, we can go in and there's we can pay down debt. We can get things deleted to where that credit score will go up and you'll get better pricing. So those are just some of the things that we do in advance that takes the pressure off if you can get it done early.
And I hate to go back to 2005, but you just made me remember something when you talked about credit scores. Your assistant at the time was named
Amy.
I remember talking to her after she checked me out, and I'm not bragging, but back then she used a phrase. She said, I said, well, am I okay? She says, listen, we need sunglasses to look at your credit score. It was that. I'm like, wow, that's a pretty good illustration. So anyway.
Hey, we love people with good credit. We'll take any and all, but we really love the ones with good credit.
She said, I have to put on sunglasses to see that credit. I said, well, that's good. Thank you. So I've worked on that my whole life and still continue that. And I think others should. What would you tell people, especially when they're young, before they even think about buying a home? Because it all starts with good money habits when we're teens and maybe even prior. But what would you tell youngsters and maybe your own kids?
I'm working on that now. I have college twins. They just finished their freshman year. And, I'm always thinking about how to prepare them going forward, paying their bills on time, live within a budget, don't overspend, save. When I got out, I saved 25% of my income because I wasn't used to the income. I tried to live on a smaller amount, and then I just started building savings. Obviously that helps, not overspending, not taking out too much debt, making sure you always make your payments on time. People don't realize that mortgage late count really hard on the credit score. The next is an installment.
So just even one time someone's late on the mortgage, that's real bad. So that
absolutely. I have a lady right now that they missed a medical payment, and we know we all hate those with the insurance company, but it brought her credit score down 40 points. So we're working to try to get that corrected and deleted. But you never know, and that's the importance of looking at that stuff early on before you start the house shopping.
Well, you've been in the profession a long time, but not only that, you've done very well. You've been very successful. Let's tell people whether they're in the mortgage profession, real estate, whatever they do. Give us an idea. You must have certain core principles of success that you adhere to, you stay with, and improve along the way. Give us an idea, maybe one or two things that you're doing that's helped you be an award-winning person.
I always look at clients. I feel like I'm here to serve somebody else. My job is I'm offering a service and to treat people the way that I would want to be treated. I don't have a whole lot of patience, and so I want stuff quickly, and that was something I always felt like that we turned things pretty quickly. We did estimates quickly. We did pre-approvals quickly. We tried to follow up also. We're also busy these days just following up the next day. Hey, how are you? What do you think about what I sent you? People are being bombarded with information. And so just treating people really the way you want to be treated in life. And that's just something, I grew up in a Christian household, and I just feel like that's important, and you treat people that way.
It really is. And you serve others well, and it serves you well by practicing those things. There's no question about it. If you were to tell people what has changed in the mortgage industry, say in the last 6 months, because it changes like real estate, any significant changes we should know about in the last 6 months or year?
Yeah, we swung so far to one side with so much documentation, and where mortgage rules really tightened up. We're starting to see some of those things loosen up. We're starting to see more programs come back into the market. We're getting some down payment assistance programs that allow people to put zero down. There's some good programs out there now that are coming back. There's stated bank statement programs to where you can qualify off of bank statements. We don't offer that program, but there are a lot of places that are offering it. You do pay a higher rate for that type of program. But those things are starting to creep back into the market. And I think they serve a purpose as long as they're not abused. So interest only is another one. We do a lot of interest only loans, and they're done for a certain purpose, for a certain client that has cash flow at certain times of the year. So they're not used to just get in with the low payment. They're used to cash flow clients better. So.
Well, it would seem that there's so many different type of programs that part of the process now is to first find the right one for your client, right?
Absolutely. When we sit down, we meet with clients, I always ask them, what are your goals? How long do you plan on being in this house? Where do you see yourself? I find this all the time where people pay for they take a 30-year fixed, and they pay the house off in 7 years, or they are going to move in 7 years, or they're going to downsize, and they take a 30-year fix. You're overpaying for a product. Let's find out what are your goals. Let's figure out what you really are trying to do, and then find a product that meets that. You know, I'm a conservative. I'm never going to put a client in to a program that's not to the benefit of the client. I just don't believe in that. I feel like, you know, that's back in the day, there were some people that used to do that, but I don't. But I do want to meet your goals and what you're trying to accomplish. So let's find out.
Certainly people will benefit from your experience all these many years. Kelly, before we close out the segment, what else would you like people to know?
Just give us a call. We'd love to earn your business. We are there every day of the week. I think I'm there at least 8 to 10 hours almost every day. I work Saturdays, I work evenings. So call us. We'd love an opportunity to earn your business.
And the number is?
281-367-0188.
281-367-0188. The one and only Kelly Malatesta. Kelly, thank you for being on the show. Give her a call at 281-367-0188. Kelly at First United Mortgage Group. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Bill.
We're coming right back. Stay with us.
Most people don't know that Stuart offers business, home, and auto insurance. In fact, Stuart Insurance and Risk Management has been doing that and more for over 10 years. And they partner with many leading insurance companies to offer great rates. They're a national insurance agency operating in all 50 states, delivering a broad range of insurance products. Whether you need a home insurance quote for a client's home closing or your own insurance needs, you can count on them. Call 866-845-4676. That's 866-845-4676. Stuart Insurance and Risk Management is here to help.
And welcome back. Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title. Let's talk a little real estate. Also from the Woodlands, we have the Hearn team, Jenny and Tory Hearn. Hey, guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Bill. Good to be here.
Good to see you. Well, Jenny, first let's tell people you are in the Woodlands, right, with RE/MAX.
Correct.
The Hearn team. Let's tell people a little bit about your company right now up there in the Woodlands.
Well, we are located at the corner of Woodlands Parkway and Kirkendall, and we have a huge brokerage there and are conveniently located for most of the residents in the Woodlands to find us.
Well, people love the Woodlands, or they seem to. I always hear great things. I've never lived there, but if I were to move, that's a place, and stay in the Houston area, that's a place I would consider next time around. What is it, Jenny, you think that people, or what you hear as you serve buyers and sellers all the time, what is it that they love about the Woodlands?
I think the Woodlands has traditionally just held on to the reputation that they started with and have continued the growth, maintaining a lot of consistency in terms of the streetscapes, the maintenance of the trees, and keeping as much of the natural setting as possible, and attracting families. And now they're also have for many years been working to entice empty nesters and seniors and
To retire. Because there's
They're
probably
fabulous.
people that are in the Houston area, maybe in the Loop or whatever, that want to have a little land or something, and or go around where there's more trees and move a little further out to
and
something.
the reputation has followed us over all the years of what a wonderful community it is. And
So it's consistent like that. And also it has a lot of trees, it seems like.
It does.
And I think the thing I like is that they planned it. It seems like it had a plan to it to be what it is today.
Correct.
Let's tell people, as far as the market right now, you have buyers, you're serving buyers and sellers. What's it like right now, let's say, if you want to sell your home in the Woodlands?
Well, it's the same as it's always been. The homes that sell right now that are ready to sell have been worked on and are, people have paid attention to detail. They've listened to their agent in terms of how to best present their home. And of course, it's a little bit of an off time. We're already almost to July. It would have been better to start the process maybe February, March, April, but there's still a lot of people coming on the market right now. It's been a very robust year, so we feel like even though it's near July, come on, let's get your home on the market. But sellers need to be cognizant of the fact that they need to have their home presentable.
Needs to be ready. There's things that sellers need to do. And when you coach or consult with a seller, what are the things that you tell them that they need to do to be ready?
Well, they need to look at curb appeal, because a lot of buying decisions are made within the first seconds of entering up the front door. Of course, a lot of people that are buyers now are searching online, so to have a good online presence, so you want to have your home presented well online with photos and
great photos, professional photos, right?
Correct, because a lot of buying is, we've even had buyers never see a property and put in an offer.
Wow.
But the cleanliness, the attention to detail within the home, and to almost some people have to literally move out of their home in order to accomplish that. But the staging, I guess, is very, very important.
I would think so, because that's an important thing. When we go to sell a home, I would want to sell my home as quick as possible for the best dollar that I can get.
Sure.
So all those things are important. Declutter. And Tory, what do you think about that as far as the sellers go? What else should they think about?
Well, I'm going to try to talk here, but my voice is kind of going in and out. We tell the sellers a lot of times that that's their first impression to the buyer. So pressure washing the driveway, giving that good curb appeal, the buyer generally makes their decision within the first 3 to 5 seconds of walking through that door. So it's important to capture that buyer right when they walk in the door.
In addition, sometimes the first 3 or 4 seconds of looking at the photographs on the MLS as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure could be.
Switching gears, let's say you're talking to someone that's a potential buyer, and they say, Jenny, I'm thinking about the Woodlands. What are the things? And certainly they're going to say, well, we're going to spend $500,000. Mm-hmm. Or well, let's take that idea of price. So if someone wants to spend or has $500,000 to spend in the Woodlands, what can they get for that $500,000? Do they have a lot of choices?
Well, one of the things you talked about with Kelly is that $500,000 buyer. The most important thing would be to find out that is truly their price point.
That they have the $500,000. Yeah,
that is where they need to start. And there are different options based on location in the Woodlands. There's villages. The Woodlands is made up of different villages, and within each village there are price points that would be applicable to this buyer, and where their children go to school, or where they want to go to worship, or what their extracurricular activities and wants and needs are, would kind of focus on what area of the community they'd like to settle in, and then we start the search.
So for $500,000 we can get a nice home?
Oh yes.
And what about if we only have $400,000? Are we going to?
Very nice.
That sounds good. Now, let's say someone's maybe has $800,000 to spend. What are they going to get for that price? You can find a home for $800,000 there, right?
You can, yes.
It's going to be nicer, maybe. Bigger lot?
It's true that if you can go up, the more you can go up in price, you're going to see substantial differences in terms of what is offered. You'll get a more completed, maybe more remodeling, more updating to an older home. There are some new homes still under construction in the Woodlands, so that's another choice. But you might find more finished outdoor areas with a $800,000 home. But there's very well kept, very well finished, updated $300,000 homes as well.
That sounds pretty good. If you want something by the water. Now, when I think of water, I think of Lake Conroe or other lake places around the Houston area. But are there waterfront properties around the Woodlands?
Yes.
Let's tell people a little bit about that.
Well, they're hard to find. They're within.
So they're probably a little higher dollar.
Little higher priced.
Okay.
But there definitely are water views for people to. It's maybe a harder search, but I kind of enjoy those needle in a haystack type of searches with. As long as the buyer is upfront and honest about what they really want, that's the most important thing, I think, is to just tell us what you're looking for.
They should be specific and let you know what they're looking for. That way you're able to find it for them.
Right.
It's that easy.
Right. But water view is an interesting thing. The other concept is a green belt, to back to a green belt, to have no one behind you. That's a hard find sometimes,
That
but
sounds good, though.
they're available, and people that have had noisy backdoor neighbors, sometimes that's all they want to look at, or I will not back up to a neighbor. So
You're making me think about a golf course. What if I want to? Can I be near a golf course or
can.
back up to one?
Sure.
That sounds pretty good. Tori, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think there's 7.5 golf courses in the Woodlands.
7.5?
7.5.
Oh, my.
And the half being 27 holes at the Palmer course at the Woodlands Country Club. But there's all kinds of options. In even a golf course view with a lake on the course was kind of.
I think I'd lean
the
towards
best of
that
both
golf
worlds.
course. I like that idea. So, but also you're located right there at RE/MAX in the Woodlands, but you don't just serve the Woodlands. You go beyond as well.
We
right?
do.
Let's tell people your
We
kind of your
do.
scope and how you approach your business.
We work a lot on referral business, and some of our longtime clients are moving in and around the Woodlands. They maybe have their kids are finished school and they want to try another area. They don't need to stay close to the schools anymore. That's just one idea. And they may be looking north of the Woodlands, the Conroe, Wood Forest
We're hearing
area.
a lot about
There's
Conroe lately.
lots of things popping up out there. There's an opportunity for newer homes out away from the Woodlands, where most of the Woodlands proper has been built out. So you'll find opportunities for new builds if you go outside slightly. But we deal with Magnolia, Montgomery, Conroe, Spring.
Of all those
as well.
places you mentioned, which ones are the most popular, if any?
Just depends on the buyer.
Depends. That's
Yes.
always the answer. It depends.
I
Well, Jenny,
know.
before we close out the segment, what else would you like people to know? Or Tori?
Well, we love what we do. We're a mother-son team, so we feel like we bring two sets of kind of backgrounds to our clients, and you know, Tory started first grade here. I worked in new home sales for 18 years before I got into residential resale, and so we just we love working with buyers and sellers. We feel like each one gives us important information for the other.
Very good. And let's tell people how they can reach you.
RE/MAX the Woodlands in Spring, 832-978-8688, 832-978-8688.
Very simple. You can reach the Hearn team at 832-978-8688. Thank you guys for being on the show. We're going to take a short break and come right back. I want to go by and have a house by the
Thank
golf
you, Bill.
course. Can I do that?
Yes.
Absolutely,
When
Bill.
can you meet? When can you be there?
I'm on my way. Stay with us. Here we go. We continue Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title. Let's talk about food and even entertainment. He is here, Shaun McConnell with Mahoney's Texas Bar. Shaun, welcome to the show.
Bill, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here.
Just the word restaurant starts to make me hungry. So let's tell people, first of all, you have a brand new restaurant and entertainment venue in the Woodlands. Let's tell them about it.
We do. It's an original concept. It's called Mahoney's. And the way it came about, I've been in this industry, the bar and restaurant industry, for over 30 years. I'm from the Woodlands, grew up in the Woodlands, went to McCullough High School when it was a high school. But my ventures have all been in Key West previously. But being from here, over the past decade to 15 years, I've had friends that I grew up with that live in the Woodlands drag me to the Woodlands to look at a spot and say, hey, this is it. You know, we need to do this together. And it just never really appealed to me, the spots I looked at over the years. So Kelly Mahoney, who was a very good friend of mine that I grew up with, calls me one day with the same request, come look at this spot. It's a great spot. I said, okay. Worst case scenario, it's an excuse to have a beer with Kelly Mahoney. When I saw the spot at 24 Waterway Avenue, it's the corner, it's Suite 100. It's on the corner, and it is right in the middle of that whole little bar and restaurant district. I couldn't say no. I knew I was going back to work. So,
Sounds like a great opportunity.
So I'm back to the grind now, and we're having fun.
Well, so many things, just like a real estate transaction, so many things have to come into play. But when we think about the restaurant industry, I mean, you have to have the right location, certainly tremendous food. It has to look good, consistency, and you're also in the entertainment portion of the business, right?
Correct. Yes, we have live entertainment 7 days a week. That is one thing, and I'll tell you, our landlords, Black Forest, who are on the second floor right above us, I give them credit for us coming up with the Tex-ish concept. We combine Texas and Irish. They knew with our concept that there was a chance we'd be just alike of our bar and restaurants across the street, Goose's Acre and Baker Street. So they didn't want us to be just like them. And so I had to rack my brain to say, well, what's going to separate us? So we came up with the word Texas. My wife actually found it on a T-shirt on the internet, and we stole it, and we looked it up, and it's not trademarked. So we're in the process of trademarking the word Texas. And our menu is based on the combination of the foods, Irish and Texas food, and also our entertainment. That's one of the ways that we separated ourselves from our two competitors. I say competitors, but competition breeds success for all of us there. And we want Baker Street, Goose's Acre, Grimaldi's, Yucatan Taco Stand, Bar Louie, Tris, Refuge, everyone all around us. We just want to create another reason for people to come to that area.
That sounds great. And also, you're near Stuart Title, or in the same building, I'm understanding?
Miss Becky Shannonhouse is the reason I'm here today. She's already had a couple parties at Mahoney's.
She is pretty incredible, and probably a regular at your restaurant right now.
She is. She's the reason I'm here, and many thanks to her. But she has been one of our biggest cheerleaders so far since we opened the door just a month ago.
Indeed. And she said she's going to take me to lunch there. So I'm going to hold her to it. I'm going to be up there soon. But when you talk about the entertainment, well, let's explore the menu first a little bit. Let's tell people about the cuisine. I looked on the website before the show here today. But let's tell people, what are we going to order? What are your top two favorite things that you like to eat when you go?
Okay. Well, as I said, we had to figure out a way to combine the Texas-Irish theme. I'm a front of the house guy all my years, so you don't want me cooking the food. So that was one of our biggest challenges. I've got to find a chef. We really struck gold with Brian McSwain. Our chef is from the Woodlands, but he's also cooked in Scotland and Ireland for 2 summers as well. And he
Authentic.
Yes. So he was currently with P.F. Chang's. He was executive chef for P.F. Chang's, so I already knew he was coming from a great company, but he was looking for an excuse to move home to the Woodlands. And after a 30-minute phone interview, I knew he was our guy because he definitely understood the concept. And so what he's done is he's put a little Texas flair into some Irish dishes, whether it be our fish and chips, which is one of our #1 sellers, but he has Texas seasoning on it, or he does a cottage pie with Texas beef instead of lamb, to give it a little Texas flair. You're asking about one of my favorites, bangers and mash with the sausage and the peas and the mashed potatoes. You might as well plan on taking a nap afterwards. Our filet is tremendous. We're getting well known for our burgers as well. We really struck gold with Chef Brian McSwain.
Well, it sounds like so many things came together, and also probably why you're already successful instantly. It sounds like you're getting great crowds already.
Well, we're very lucky that Kelly Mahoney himself. I often wonder if he should just run for mayor of the Woodlands. There's 3 of us together: Pat Perugini, Kelly Mahoney, and myself. We all grew up together in the Woodlands. So between our network of people that we know there, we're very blessed with everyone wanting to come and check it out. Having great live entertainment doesn't hurt at all either. The entertainment's been tremendous so far.
And let's tell people about the entertainment. What kind of groups or single artists do you have there? What would they expect when they go? And what time does it start? Is it the same time every night? Is it in the evening?
It is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday. I'm sorry. We have the guy on from 7 to 10, usually just an acoustical guitar and he's crowd interactive, talks to the crowd and gets them involved as well. Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night, we have bands that will follow them that will come on around 10 to 10:30 because, at that point of the night, people really just want to rock out. So
you have the warm
it's almost
up.
like, the warm up and then almost like being at a concert.
That sounds great. And I'm hearing, too, the venue itself, as far as sound and the things that you've put together to make it great, it's first class.
We did. I'll admit we spared no expense on the sound system. And one of the great things that is happening already is amongst the entertainment industry and network, our Facebook page is being bombarded by entertainers wanting to come play there because it is such a great venue for them to play at.
Give us a quick word about Key West. You have other ventures in Key West?
I do.
Now, but first, it sounds like it's so great in the Woodlands that they may leave Houston to come and see this venue, and it is called Mahoney's Texas Bar, so they can do that. But let's say they're in Key West. What should they do?
Well, Mahoney's is based on my bar in Key West called Irish Kevin's, and I say it's based because you can obviously get away with a lot more in Key West than you can get away with in the Woodlands. So You'd be a little more open-minded if you go to my bar in Key West, that's for sure. We have live entertainment there starting at 10:30 a.m. and it goes on all day long. But
Now, I've never heard of that. Tell us about it.
Well,
Live entertainment starting at 10.
At 10 a.m., we get such a huge cruise ship business there. So we have cruise ships in almost daily. So we have foot traffic all the time. And so when they hear live entertainment going at 10:30 a.m., they get rid of their coffee and they order a beer.
Irish Kevin's. That is too awesome. So you're in this profession, Shaun, for many years, entertaining people, great food, a fun time atmosphere at all your locations. But what is it about this that you love? I mean, you can be doing a lot of things, a lot of businesses, but what is it about this industry you love?
Well, I tell my staff, at meetings, I say, how lucky are we? We get to throw a party every single night. I mean, that's what we do for a living. Providing a great time for everyone is, that's not really a job. I can't really call that a job. So I feel very blessed. I've had a lot of incredible stories in this business throughout the years and a lot of incredible friendships. I feel very lucky.
Super fun. Now, do you play any instruments or sing?
I do not.
We won't be able to see you entertain.
My nickname would be Crowd Killer.
Crowd killer. Okay.
You're
leaving it like everybody has the thing that they do. You're leaving it to the professionals.
Exactly.
You're there to make sure everybody has a good time.
Yeah, you don't want me cooking the food and you don't want me on stage.
But we do want to meet you when we come out there.
Exactly.
So if someone hears this
I'll
show
be there.
and they want to see you, they're going to ask for Shaun McConnell.
Yes, sir.
That sounds awesome. Let's tell people how they can reach the website, and if they want to check you out more, what should they do?
Okay, we have mahoneysbar.com, which is almost out of construction. The last thing we're putting on there, we're putting a live webcam so people can watch the entertainers from the stage. That is being finalized yesterday, as a matter of fact. The phone number at Mahoney's is 832-663-5228. The phone number at Mahoney's is 832-663-5228.
So, Shaun, that sounds great. Once again, the website is
mahoneysbar.com.
And I like the idea they could get to see the entertainment even from afar.
Yes, sir. Live feed every night.
There you go. Mahoney's Texas Bar. Thank you, Shaun, for being on the show. We're coming right back with even more. And welcome back. Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title. Your next closing, you're buying or selling, you want to close your transaction at Stuart Title. That's right. And I say it all the time, stay close to your business development officer because they always know about the great things going on. They're putting events together to enrich your knowledge in the real estate profession. And I am staying close to my business development officer, Becky Shannonhouse. She's right here. Becky, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bill. Glad to be here.
And that's good advice. We want to stay close to the people at Stuart because we're always doing things to provide value to real estate professionals far and wide.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And let's tell people about your office.
We are located at 24 Waterway, same location as the Mahoney's Texas Bar and Restaurant.
And you've been there.
And I've been there. I've held classes there. I've been there myself to eat. I've had other colleagues that have walked downstairs to eat. They're on the first floor. Great location in the Woodlands, and we're just very excited to have somebody of that caliber there in our building.
No doubt about it. And they can do the closing at Stuart and then go to Mahoney's for lunch or whatever.
Yes.
A nice package deal. So let's tell people, when people think about the closing process, sometimes they haven't closed for a long time. Let's give them an idea of what they can expect at Stuart Title, the Woodlands.
We have very experienced escrow officers, which are the agents that do the closing. And from the very first time the realtor would email the contract over, they make contact with the both realtors, and it'll either be myself or one of the realtors will bring earnest money. So for that buyer and or seller, they are informed of the whole process throughout the process by the escrow officer and her assistants, escrow processors.
That sounds great. And how big an area do you cover from the Stuart Woodlands office?
Well, in the Woodlands office, we're actually the Woodlands, and so it's kind of divided in Montgomery County by zip codes. And so it'll probably cover about 6 different zip codes right
and
there
when we
in the
think,
Woodlands.
The other thing, when we think about the Woodlands and your background before Stuart Title, you were also closely associated to the Woodlands and the development
Correct.
there.
Yes, I was with business development, or I should say realtor relations and business development for the Woodlands Development Company for 10 years, from 99 to 2009.
And that's an extra benefit for people that work with you because you know so much about the Woodlands.
Correct. I've been there 28 years.
And you even live there.
I do. I live, work, and play.
So that sounds like a great feature when people work with you. You have so much knowledge about the Woodlands today and even 10 years ago.
Yes.
Fascinating.
Yes.
Extra
That's why
bonus.
I love this business. Because it's what I did was between 2009 and 2017, I had worked in management for RE/MAX, and then I'd sold new homes for a builder. But I loved the aspect of getting back and working with the realtors that I knew and loved. So it was a good fit for me.
So it sounds like fun, not even work.
Exactly. I just get up and I get to go have fun all day.
Well, it's like John Maxwell says. He says it's not work unless you'd rather be doing something else. And I say this with Roseanne Rogers. I know you feel the same way.
Absolutely.
We run to work. We can't wait to get there.
Yes.
Exactly. The Woodlands office, it's been there a long time. It's also, let's tell people about one of the great things we talked about being near Shaun's restaurant, but also there are so many other great things. It's in the waterway, so it's one of our most scenic locations, if you will.
Absolutely.
Right there. It's beautiful to visit, even if you weren't closing a real estate transaction.
Correct. Well, I mean, there's so much walkability within that whole area that we call the town center area in the Woodlands. So it's our downtown, like you would have downtown in Houston.
Well, Becky, if someone wants to close that real estate transaction in the Woodlands, and who doesn't, what should they do?
They can contact myself, or they can contact Stuart Title. Stuart Title is 281-367-5454, or myself is 281-433-8361.
Becky Shannonhouse.
Yes.
That almost has an Irish ring, or
it
I'm
is.
not
It's
sure.
German-Irish.
Is that right? Give her a call, 281-433-8361. Close at Stuart Title. Have
Please.
a great lunch there at Shaun's restaurant, right?
Yes.
It's all right there. So many things we offer. Thank you, Becky,
Very
for being on the
convenient.
show and for bringing these tremendous guests.
I know. They were all great.
It's super awesome.
Exciting.
We're coming right back. Stay with us. We're with Michelle Steffen with Stuart Insurance and Risk Management. Hello, Michelle.
Hey, Bill. How's it going?
It's going great. When we think about insurance, there are so many insurance companies. I mean, competition is out there for all of us in any walk of life. But when we think about insurance, home, auto, all those insurance needs that people have, what are some of the distinctions when people work with Stuart Insurance and Risk Management?
That's a great question. You know, there's so many positive things that a customer can experience working with us. First of all of our insurance agents are licensed. You know, they go through extensive training to obtain that license. But that's just the beginning. Once they get licensed, then they go through a comprehensive training program that we've developed meant to help them communicate with a customer about the things that are important. So we've talked at length before about how complex insurance can be, and our goal is ultimately to simplify it, put it into terms that everybody can understand, and then help people to be confident in the decisions that they make about their coverage. So we've remodeled the status quo for our own people, and we train them, we encourage them, we encourage growth and professionalism, and our goal is that every time they communicate with our team, regardless of who it is, from the top to the bottom, that they get that same feel. We want them to feel like they hugged us through the phone. And I mean that with all my heart.
In fact, the people with your company and people that are on your team, it's almost like they're interpreters. They're interpreting the language of insurance
No doubt.
to those that need it and helping them find the right blend of insurance for them.
Absolutely. And Bill, I have immense respect for those people who have written and underwritten policy forms, but it is absolutely legalese. It is written by attorneys, and it's often very complex. So we simplify that. We make it easy to understand, and we constantly empower our customers as they come to us. We want them to know first of all, what we can be for them as advocates through the process of purchasing insurance, and then also at claim time. And we empower them to make those decisions through education. It's important that every moment we have with a customer, that they're taking from us value, not just in the policy that they have, but the relationship and the experience.
Indeed, you are making the complex simple for the person that needs the insurance, and that's so important. In addition, you're also raising the customer experience as far as customer service goes, because one of the things that I love when you call Stuart Insurance and Risk Management, you could talk to someone with not a problem.
Absolutely. Again, we don't have the call prompts. When you call, you get somebody live on the phone, and you're going to have somebody that can help you through whatever it is that you're going through, whether it's a need for new insurance quotes or whether you're working on renewing your policies with us or just average policy changes. When you buy a vehicle, you're going to work with somebody who cares about you, who's confident, and can help you to be confident as you go through that process. And I like to say this, and I say it confidently, that nobody else is out there doing what we do with our customers, and I'm proud of that. So we continue to build that environment, and customers are going to enjoy every experience they have with us.
Very nice. Making the complex simple. Michelle, let's tell them how they can reach out.
Sure. You can reach us at 866-845-4676. And again, that's 866-845-4676.
I'm going to call right now. Thanks, Michelle.
Please do. Thanks, Bill.
Here we go. As we wrap up the show, been a super show. It makes me want to go to the Woodlands. I'm going to go there real soon. She's back. Kelly Malatesta with First United Mortgage Group. Kelly, welcome back.
Hey, thanks, Bill.
Thank you. And let's tell people, what else should they know, Kelly, here before we wind up the show?
Well, at First United, we do construction loans, we do doctor loans, we give discounts to military, teachers, firefighters, civil service,
radio hosts,
all kind of fun
radio
stuff.
Hosts.
Yeah, even a radio host. So anyway, we'd love an opportunity to work with clients. So give us a call.
And the number is?
281-367-0188.
You are legendary. And if they want to hear you on the radio?
They can look for me on Steve Drake's 700 AM KSEV Money Matters. It's on Monday through Thursday from 11 to 12.
That is super cool. And the phone number again is?
281-367-0188.
From the Hearn team, we have Jenny Hearn. Jenny, welcome back.
Thanks, Bill.
And once again, as we think you are a top producing real estate professional right there in the Woodlands, before we close out the show, Jenny, what else would you like people to know about your company, the Woodlands, or anything else?
Well, Tory and I have been combined in the business for over 35 years.
Wow.
And so between the two of us, I think that, we've got a unique combination of talents that help serve almost any buyer. And I've had a chance to think, I've got the house for you.
Oh,
so
you do?
Just give me a call.
Is it near the golf course or a green
or
belt?
water, whatever.
I'm flexible.
Let me give you that number, Bill.
Go ahead.
832-978-8688.
One more time?
832-978-8688.
Very nice.
It's beautiful, too, by the way.
I'm going to look into that. And he is back, Shaun, with Mahoney's Texas Bar. Now, let's spell that out because they may think I'm slurring my words or something. Texas.
Texish.
How'd you come up with that? Tell us again.
Well, we just we had to separate ourselves. Didn't want to be just a strictly Irish pub style concept. So we decided, you know what? Especially after Harvey, we're all Houston strong. We're all Texas proud. Let's put them together.
Well, Shaun, it seems to me that you have such a unique venue that people that live in Houston, like me, I'm on the far west side of Houston, or anywhere else in Houston, they may want to say, I'm going to go to the Waterway, get some scenery, check out Shaun's restaurant and entertainment venue. I mean, it's a go-to destination.
It really is. And when I first looked into this, that's been a hot spot for about a decade now. And every area has its life cycle, so that was a concern of mine. However, when we saw all the projects that are still going on in the Waterway with more condos and hotels and whatnot, we jumped on it because I think it's still going to be hot for several more decades in that area.
It sounds like fun.
Yes,
and
sir.
also, you mentioned, let's remind people, they can see the entertainment from their computer. They don't even have to go to the venue. Let's tell them that's not up yet, but it's going to be soon, right?
Correct. Hopefully by this weekend, yes, sir.
So just go to the website.
Should be a live webcam option on our website, and should be able to watch the entertainment right there from your computer.
And let's remind people, Irish Kevin's in Key West. We may not be able to get there, but what if they want to watch the entertainment at Irish Kevin's?
We have 3 webcams on that website. So you can people watch the outside webcam on people going up and down Duval Street, or you could watch our entertainers, or you could watch the guests getting crazy in Irish Kevin's themselves.
Netflix, move over, man. You guys got something going on. That sounds too awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. And as you're listening, don't be sad that the show is ending at the time of broadcast, because it never really ends. You can always go to Stuart.com/Houston. That's Stuart.com/Houston. Yeah, I know you want to go to the Woodlands after hearing this show. There's no doubt about that. Great things up there. And if you want to close your real estate transaction at Stuart Title somewhere else, that's no problem. We have many, many locations and also many great individuals like Becky Shannonhouse. We have the A-plus team. That's right, Stuart Title. We are there to serve you for all your real estate needs. And until next week, Stuart.com/Houston. Stuart.com/Houston. Will I say it one more time? Maybe. Stuart.com/Houston. Until next week, thanks for listening, and we'll see you then. Thank you, everybody.